Hi Vicky, how was your scanning venture today?
It was okay. We had to have Sharon help us in the beginning because with Nikki being new and I'm not really quite sure what I did, so we had Sharon initially show us how to get to the scan and where we needed to scan. After that it was okay, and I thank you for getting JAWS on. That was kind of a help. We did find out that I guess there's like little buttons behind the big buttons with the program when it scans. So it seems like JAWS doesn't read those little buttons. But we worked through it and we got 4 folders scanned today. So it went okay.
Now, are there any things that you want to make sure that we remember in your experience today?
Yeah, one thing I think if we can maybe try to get Jason back, and if we can get Jason back and maybe try to put JAWS on the desktop, or put Paperport on the desktop and get shortcuts made and see how that works. Because the JAWS is reading the screen, but it's not working so I can actually get to where I need to go. So if we can create shortcuts and see how that goes.
Okay, so what I understand is that there is already a shortcut on the desktop for Paperport.
Okay.
And that JAWS is always open on the desktop. So it, when I looked at it, the shortcut was actually on the bottom menu.
Okay.
Always open.
It's always open.
Yeah, it's always open.
Okay, so when I come in tomorrow, then maybe you can show me how it, because that we couldn't figure out.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If we were to engineer some sort of solution to make scanning easier, more accessible, or more efficient for you, what would that solution look like?
What would that solution look like? I'm not an engineer. What would it look like? I think what it should look like is probably like 1, 2, 3. So I, would open the computer and JAWS would come up, and then say I could hit, like, go to the desktop, and say Paperport is on the desktop and we have a shortcut for Paperport. So that would be whatever step. And say this shortcut would be P or Alt P, but maybe P for Paperport, right? So then I would hit enter on Paperport. Then if we could make it so that we could tab through the tabs to where I needed to scan and go from scan to done, be it that JAWS would read that, or there's like, I don't know, bells, whistles, buzzers, I don't know, but some kind of indication to let me know that I am where I need to be. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so you would prefer to have shortcuts for using the computer. But what about any solution that you can think about that?
I mean, anything. Shortcuts are what I'm familiar with.
Okay.
But even if it's like, so if there's no shortcuts and I have to use the mouse, then if we could get the mouse to, maybe when the pointer gets to a certain point, where I need to be. Maybe if there's some kind of bell or buzzer or, you know, something to indicate that I'm where I need to be with that mouse pointer so I can start scanning. And then I guess there's a done button. So it would just have to be a bunch of, you know, different sounds maybe, or something that would indicate where I need to be once I learn the process.
Okay, good.
You know, because I guess there's like I had to scan, and then when I'm done scanning, there's a done button before I can save it. So then once I get done scanning, then I save and have to name the document.
Okay. Well, from my observations, there seems to be a lot of clicks with the mouse, a lot of maneuvering with the mouse and the pointer and the cursor. It almost seems like if we were able to engineer a process that was one touch of the button, it would be so much easier than
all of those clicks.
Maneuvering the mouse, clicking on this button, and then maneuvering the mouse and clicking on this next button, and then the next step is maneuvering the mouse and clicking this button.
See, I don't know if you can do necessarily one touch thing, because there's, you know, multiple steps in the process. You know, you scan, and then you're done, and then not only sometimes is there scan, but sometimes you have to scan multiple times. So what I found is, if we can get the mouse to stay, once I get it on scan, if we can figure out how to get that to stay right there, then I just hit that button to scan until I'm done. Okay? Well, that would be cool, because then we don't have to move the mouse around so much.
Right. There's a lot of mouse moving right now.
Yes.
And button clicking. Okay.
Yes. And then to get it to go to done, because now I'm done scanning and I'm ready to save it and I'm ready to make my document, right? And then you had to, which isn't a problem because I can do that. You had to backspace out document, whatever document number it is. You had to backspace that name out and then write in the proper name that you want to name now.
Got it. You have to rename the file.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I can hit enter. So renaming it isn't a problem, because of course I know how to type. So I can do that, and as long as I know that it's document whatever, then I just like bracket 1, you know, like this, and then I can backspace it all out, because I can count or know how many backspaces it is to backspace all of that out, and then I can write it in.
What if it automatically renamed the document to what you wanted to?
I don't know if it would do that.
Okay. Just thinking out of the box.
Right. No, if it would automatically, like if I could scan the folder, because you know, on the folder, on some of the folders, not all of them, but on most of the folders, there's a label. So if we could scan the folder and then have it rename that folder from that label, that might work.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Any further thoughts from today's experience?
It just seems to be going smoother as long as I can get somebody who really knows, you know, up, down, left, right. It makes the process easier.
Okay. So having that work buddy there with you has helped a lot.
Oh, yeah. It has to, because I could never, ever do it without them. I just couldn't.
Okay. Well, would you prefer being able to do it completely independently of a work buddy, or would you like to always sort of incorporate in the plan somehow a work buddy?
If I could do it independently, that would be sweet.
Okay.
But I think at some point, hang on, Jennifer, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I had to see who this is.
Okay.
This might be my bus.
Okay.